please do not ask us to give you any fortune-telling news because we have been wrong on mostly all of our predictions this PSL Daily. Bringing you the third last PSL Daily as Karachi gets eliminated. Lahore finds themselves playing a qualifier against Islamabad tomorrow. By the time this podcast comes out, we will have our finalists. With me, as always, the finalist of this podcast, Bashar Sayed.
Just when Karachi Kings became likable and I was trying to rally around behind Karachi.
Yeah, you were trying to force an agenda, definitely, on this podcast.
I felt like there was an evolution with Karachi Kings once they had traded Imad and Amir and Babar left to Zalmi.
Yeah.
And Shan Masood became captain and Haider Azhar came to Karachi Kings. A lot had changed. I think as a resident of Karachi, I was forced to support Islamabad United a couple of years back. And then suddenly I felt like because they were playing really well, I liked the guys in the team.
The attitude
was right.
I think what David Warner was bringing to this Karachi team was the much needed swag. And David Warner, I mean, at this point, he's a knighted Karachiite already, bringing Karachi to a qualifier. A team that was not bad on paper before even. Like they were making qualifiers and playoffs regularly, if not every year. But they found themselves just being unlikable.
Were you following the David Warner and the Raya Golf Club story?
Yo, I thought David Warner was having trouble with the Raya dating app. You know what that is?
No.
The Raya dating app is this dating app where you have to pay, I think it's $200 a month, but it's like really exclusive for like the celebrities. Like John Mayer is on there and Ben Affleck is on there. And like,
why do you know about this?
Call her daddy. That's all I'm going to say. Call her daddy. That's why I know this information. But I thought he was like trying to get into Raya, the celebrity dating app, but it was about a golf course situation, so I skipped.
Yeah, so Raya is basically like this really elite golf club in Lahore. It's like its defense phase 8. And it was really hard for David Warner to get a booking there. So he tweeted,
Parchi,
out of the world. And guess who replied back? Mohammed Hafiz.
And said what?
Buddy, I will arrange it for you.
Did it happen? We don't know.
It happened. He went to play golf in Lahore at the Raya Golf Club.
With Hafiz?
With Ben McDermott.
No Hafiz.
I didn't see Hafiz there.
But Hafiz probably pulled some strings.
Probably did.
Hafiz, good man, Hafiz, man. Always trying to make sure that the Lahore tourism does not die, even if Lahore itself might find themselves a little bit under the weather.
What is happening here? Is Lahore the better city, and now they have the better cricket team now?
And the golf courses apparently.
They have golf courses.
The better golf courses as well.
But wait, Karachi has the better food.
How long are you gonna?
Our city might be trash. You could get mugged anywhere you can go.
But we
don't have roads.
We have two things: food and the sea, the ocean. Something Lahore will never get. We sound like bitter Karachiites right now, but we should give Lahore its flowers. We did not have Lahore beating Karachi right now. We had Karachi beating Lahore and then probably playing the final.
The way this match was going, I don't even think Lahore had Lahore winning. And we'll get into that.
How did that happen?
But before anything, we have to let you guys know about Toronto Blue Jays Cricket Day at the Park, Saturday, May 31st. There's a lot of reasons why you should come to this event. Baseball meets cricket, cheap tickets, links in the description. Bring your families. So on a weekend. But the reason that was probably the most compelling for me is the free limited edition jacket that the first 15,000 people will get at the gates.
100%. Last time we got the bucket hats, the TD and Blue Jays collaborative bucket hats. This time we're getting Cricket Canada X Blue Jays jackets. And
they're calling it the warm-up jacket giveaway presented by TD.
There we go. TD's always there, man. TD, you can't, if you're living in Toronto, you cannot beat TD. But it's one of those things where you would want your family to come. If you have never seen a baseball game and you're a cricket fan living in the GTA, Ontario, this is your time to get reinitiated back into the culture. And if you're a baseball fan watching this podcast, firstly, congratulations. Secondly, it's for you to introduce yourself to cricket. There's cricket nets there. There's activities for kids. Bring your family. It's a family affair. I know that me and Bashar will be there. We are family way before this podcast. And we'll be there with our families, respective families as well. That's going to be a fun time for everybody involved. So thank you, Blue Jays, for sponsoring this podcast. Also, get your tickets in the description below.
Speaking of family, I have a couple of trivia things to bring up. This is not related to the PSL.
Right off the bat?
Yes. So firstly, Sikandar Raza had left Lahore Qalandars in the PSL to join the Zimbabwe team because they were facing England in a historic one-off test match in England.
Yeah, historic because he almost got hit with for 500 runs in the first day.
It happened today. The man flew thousands of miles
to get whipped
to Nottingham, almost got smashed for 500 runs on day one.
That's insane. 2 runs short.
It's one of the records almost for the most runs ever hit by England on day one. I think the most runs is like 506, I believe. And they were very close to breaking that record.
Do you feel bad for Zimbabwe in that moment? Or do you think this is an indictment of why they should play more tests so they know how to take wickets?
The second part. I think as the casual fan, if you're watching, you're like, why is Zimbabwe even getting a chance at playing England? They're just not comparable.
This is why.
But then there's a lot of reasons why Zimbabwe got smashed for 500. And one of them is just they don't play competitive cricket with top teams. And when you don't face top teams, how can you be learning and improving, right? That's the first point. The second point, which is a bit technical, is that when you're playing test cricket in England, you're playing with the Duke's ball. And I just saw a video of Dale Steyn talking about how he always struggled with bowling in England because of the Duke's ball. There's apparently some lacquer on top of the Duke's ball, which makes it quite difficult to control with swing and seam. And oftentimes bowlers can come to England and get carried away by the amount of seam and swing they get. So if someone like Dale Steyn, the number 1 test bowler for like 6 years, was struggling in England, I think one of his worst bowling averages is in England. You've got to give
Muzar Rabani
and a lot of these guys a benefit of doubt and some slack.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Anderson and Stroh Brawl would disagree with Dale Steyn, but that's a whole different category. I mean, I'm just happy that Zimbabwe is getting games. Not only that, they're getting 11 test matches this season. So it's going to be a wild ride for them. I hope they win a couple there and find themselves at least in some form and shape in the W column, because I think it's important for teams like Zimbabwe, Ireland, Scotland, Canada, USA to be some of the top contenders just to spice up the game. I think we've talked about this many times on this podcast on how this is sort of becoming a three nation sport, which is not that fun anymore for all the other nations. There has to be some sort of onus on them to improve their game to be relevant in the national stages or the international stages, I should say. But at the same time, there has to be some onus on the playmakers to make sure that these smaller teams are also getting a fair chance. And I'm glad that Zimbabwe is getting games this season for at least 4 to 5 days. And I hope they come out with 2 or 3 wins and get some confidence from that.
I think Afghanistan is a phenomenal case study on what happens if you expose a associate nation to top quality teams. Not just that, but a lot of Afghanistan's players have become T20 Globetrotters. And look at how improved their T20 team is. They just played the semifinals of a T20 World Cup last year. So lots to learn from there. The second sort of trivia I had for you is, have you heard of the Curran brothers?
Sam Curran and Tom Curran, and is there another one?
There's a third one.
The third one.
The third one's name is Ben Curran.
Ben Curran.
And Ben Curran has left England cricket to go to Zimbabwe. And he was playing for Zimbabwe today against England in England. And Tom Curran and Sam Curran were in the crowd supporting him.
Really? Now that's fun. That's a good one. So what did Ben Curran do? Is he a bowler?
He's a batsman. He didn't bowl.
Well, he can have fun batting tomorrow, hopefully, if he gets a chance.
Overcast conditions, I doubt Zimbabwe's going to bat.
It's a full day?
I think what's going to happen is that England's going to score like 600 tomorrow, and they will declare and they will get Zimbabwe out twice and win by innings.
Yeah, but will Zimbabwe bat a full day?
I think they can bat a full day, but it's about how many runs can they score.
It's going to be interesting.
But I just thought it was interesting. I think so. All 3 brothers being test cricketers. The only other example I can think of is the Akmal brothers.
Oh,
Kamran, Umar, and Adnan.
No, that's wild. That's a wild take. Not a wild take.
KUA.
I don't want this to happen. I mean, our parents never really helped us in that regard. It's only you and me, so we could never be a part of that. Even if we never played test match ever, but like even if we wanted to, it wouldn't happen. That's what I tell myself all the time. That the Currans had one on us that we don't have.
Let's go to the match.
Also, if there was another sibling, Bashar, this podcast would be off.
Yeah, that would have been a problem.
It would have been like, you know how there's 4 Jonas brothers? You didn't know that?
Yeah.
But the 4th one is just like MIA. That would have been him.
Yep.
Tough one.
Yeah, I think we're more like the Ponte brothers. Hardik Pandya and Kunal Pandya. Obviously, I'm Hardik.
Okay, let's move to this game, bro. I think you're just gassing yourself up for absolutely no reason.
Steve Waugh and Mark Waugh. I'm obviously Steve Waugh.
Obviously,
Captain.
no reason. Kaman Akmal, Adnan Akmal. I'm obviously Kaman. You're not even Umar.
Imran Farad and Humayun Farad. That's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut. All right. So the LQ versus KK game. What happened there? I mean, look, Shaheen did say he was going to come back and get revenge, and now that interview is not cringe and it's not obnoxious. Now it's like, I told you so.
Shaheen said, "Don't really care about this match. We'll see Karachi in the semis."
He said that. He proved himself.
He did that.
And I said yesterday that the game is going to be decided between David Warner and Shaheen Afridi. And even though Shaheen Afridi went for a lot of runs and David Warner did score runs on the top in the first innings, I mean, they were like 15 runs short, in my opinion.
I think at least 20 runs short, especially because Lahore, it looked like they were trying their best to lose the match with respect to how horrible their fielding was. 2 drop catches just of David Warner in an eliminator match. I think there were a couple of more drop catches. And then just the ground fielding was horrendous. The last ball of the Karachi innings, village cricket blunders are probably have more valid reasons of having a mistake there. But Asif Ali, a Pakistan international player, just letting a ball go through his hands,
That was
between his
Pakistan.
legs.
That was Pakistan.
Asif Ali.
Are you sure about that?
I watched the replay.
That's wild. Asif
It
Ali,
was
man.
towards I think long on.
Yeah.
The ball just burst through his hand, and like his leg wasn't behind the ball, wasn't following proper fielding technique. For an international player who's played World Cups for Pakistan to make mistakes like that, it's just you can't reason with it.
I mean, the wildest thing of all time is that kind of fielding won't even be allowed at our level, the level that you and I play at, which is like, it's not even club, it's club level, it's village cricket that what you and I play, and we would be expecting that to be stopped and, you know, not be more than 2 runs. So, I mean, we have talked about the utter lack of fielding efforts this time. 88 drop catches this season, some of the most of all time that we've seen. Not even the Dominic Cork, Alistair Cook, and what's his name, Martin Guptill. The 3 of them doing a fielding drill yesterday helped. None of that helped. And I think at some point you were trying to come out and give some defense to what that might be, Bashar. But come on, after all of this, you cannot say that there is some serious questions about what's going on in the PSL fielding.
Just a bit off topic, but I feel like I've turned into Inzamam ul Haq. I'm captaining one of my league's teams in T20s, and whenever there's a drop catch, there's a misfield. My instant reaction, if you're watching a video, is this.
Even when you drop it?
Even when I drop it.
You're just dropping in the ball there and you're just
like now I know why Inzamam used to fold his hands and play with his beard, because like, what else do you do? You know?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, it's actually, we've talked about, you know, if you go macroscopically and look at the league and how far the PSL has fallen on the ladder of the different domestic league, different T20 leagues that are running internationally, it's gone at maybe 3 or 4. And we've talked about there are many reasons of why that's the case. Management, PCB not taking it seriously, no more high profile players coming, etc., etc. But the quality of fielding has to be not one of them. Because why would anybody want to watch a league that is this amateur, where the professionalism, the only way you show professionalism is through the field. It seeps through the way you carry yourself on the field, the way you throw the ball, the way you back up, the way you catch, the way you feel. Like that's the primary benchmark of how good the cricket you are that you're watching. And then you go into, okay, how fast the bowling is, how good the batting is. That all comes secondary, in my opinion. If the fielding is absolutely trash, then you don't want to watch it. That's why we watch village cricket memes all the time. The Cricket District lads do a great job of compiling these really fun moments where you can joke about it. And most of them are fielding mishaps. You know, the one that is my absolute favorite is the one where the guy is running after the ball. I think it's like a European cricket or something. He's running after the ball. He stops the ball. He rolls over onto the boundary. And from the boundary, he's trying to push the ball away. So he had stopped the ball. It wouldn't have been a 4, but to make an extra effort from away from the boundary, he pushed it and it became 4. And then another one that, you know, just off the top of my head is this uncle on third man running for the ball. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Uncle running, third man, he catches the ball, he falls over, he throws the ball, and then as he throws it, his leg goes up and he kicks the ball over for four. That's legend stuff. That's legendary stuff. But that's all for good fun because that's the level of cricket that they aspire to become. Not at the PSL level, which is supposed to be compared with the IPL, the SAT T20, whatever, insert league here. It's just a shame, honestly.
Just to add to that, as the PSL has returned, we haven't seen speed guns being active. The Hawkeye team hasn't returned. So we're playing essentially the most important matches of the PSL with no DRS.
I mean, is that the PSL's fault?
It's not, but it's part of their responsibility to get the same technology back. Now, we've seen how DRS works here in Canada because I think in 2019 or 18, they had DRS at the G20, and they have this separate van where they have a bunch of screens and wires going through, where they have different camera angles, where they're taking all out of the data, and that's how they're putting the information through Hawkeye to get DRS and whatnot. So it is a lot of work. I understand it's an international team, and what's happened in the last 10 days, I can see why they're afraid to come back. But I think the PCB could have done a better job to convince him to coming back because, again, the most important matches of this PSL with having, one bad umpiring decision could determine the course of the entire match.
Yeah, I totally agree. Do you want to talk about exactly where Karachi bottled this game? Because they were sort of running away with it in the beginning. 10 overs, 95, 2 wickets down. I reckon they would have hit more than 210 in the last, maybe 120 in the last 10 to see themselves over 210, 220 and basically bottle this Qalandars chase. But 190, even after the misfield, so more like 186 is where they sort of found themselves at, and that's 20 runs too short.
Yeah, I was talking about this in the Patreon chat where I thought this game would be determined in the last 5 to 7 overs in Lahore's death bowling and Karachi's firepower in the death. In the group match, Mohammad Nabi, Irfan Niazi, Huzul Shah just smashed Haris Rauf and Shaheen Afidi everywhere. And I thought if that same act could be replicated in this match, Karachi could get to 220, 230 potentially. But nobody was able to build a partnership alongside David Warner, who also got a couple of chances. And towards the death, Irfan Niazi couldn't get going, Nabi couldn't get going. Huzul Shah did have a small cameo, but it wasn't enough to get them to an above par total. So I think with respect to the amount of mistakes Lahore made in the field and with the amount of extras they bowled 4 no balls.
4 no balls, 12 wide, 16 right there.
That's insane.
And then we don't even know what the 4 no balls resulted in. I don't have that stat on me, but I'm assuming.
Well, there was one that went for 6. That was Irfan Niazi against Zaman Khan.
And then the free hit on the last delivery that Asif Ali misfielded for 4 was also a 4. So, I mean, Lahore gave them abundant chances.
What's happened to Zaman Khan?
You tell me.
At one point, this guy was flown in to replace Naseem Shah at the 2023 Asia Cup.
Yes.
He plays that match. He goes to the ODI World Cup as a backup bowler in the reserves. And we've never really seen him on the scene since.
I mean,
did he go to New Zealand in 2024 when Shaheen was captain?
I want to say yes.
I think he did.
I think he did. I don't know if he got games
we haven't seen him be at his best in the past 12 months at least. And we thought we found this really special bowler because Pakistan hadn't really found a slingy bowler who can bowl good with a new ball.
Who's good with Yorkers.
At the death. Zaman Khan is quite famous for helping Lahore win a couple of matches towards the death, right?
Yeah. Gets smacked for 49 today. In 4, takes that 1 wicket.
He's not even a regular in the Lahore's team anymore. He used to be, the bowling lineup used to be Shaheen, Haris Rauf, Zaman Khan, Rashid Khan, David Wiese. This used to be their PSL winning bowling attack.
That was the core. And now, I mean, out of the 4 no balls that we saw, 3 were from Zaman Khan. So that's tight.
At this level, in such a crunch match, it's criminal. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's not allowed.
It's an eliminator. Now, it comes down to the fact that Karachi really did not want to win. And maybe Mr. Warner wanted to have some more time at the Raya golf course. But as it stands, Karachi threw this game away. Now, What I also don't understand is where did Mohammad Naeem, the bowler, come from?
Yo, I didn't see that coming.
I did not see that coming. He choked the Karachi batting lineup. Like him and Shakib will send 4 overs for 19 with 2 wickets each, with 2 wickets, one each. That's wild. That's the game right there. Because those 4 overs should have gone for 40, and then suddenly they're sitting at 210, 220.
Naeem was coming in bowling some soft offies.
That's like something that you would have applied in Markham Premier League, bro. Like get somebody to bowl loops, pack leg side, go for it.
That's what we do. Loop it up, fielders in the long on, long off, deep mid wicket. Get those catches in, guys.
Get those catches in. And that's exactly what they were trying to get in here. And it kind of worked. Not only that, he only gave 5 and over. In a crunch situation like this, where it's a qualifier, where it's a do or die, technically, for Lahore. And all of these games are going to be do or die for Lahore. So it's a good thing that they got those reps in. Man, like, wild. Mohammad Naeem, maybe the batsman. I don't know about that, but maybe the bowler. Something to say about that. I don't know why they didn't bowl Shakib more. Maybe because
Shakib's coming back from his action being cleared.
He gave 4 for 1 in his one.
I don't like Shakib's attitude.
You and Ali Tareen, bro. You guys both.
I genuinely think Shakib has anger issues that are unresolved. He needs anger management. He needs therapy.
He gives me an unhinged Shahid Afridi vibe. Like if you left Shahid Afridi unchecked, you know how Shahid Afridi was insane. Would beat somebody up at the airport. He would just run over people. He would just like smash bats, eat balls. You know, it's his vibe. But Shahid Afridi was somewhat checked by the PCB management. Shakib was just a loose cannon, bro. This guy's he's taking no BS for anything. Like the last game, he was his first game after a while. He gets bowled in the second delivery, I believe, or the first delivery. And he wants to smack the stumps. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He really controlled himself as he was walking out. That's Shakib lesson for you. So I think Shaheen is like easing him into like normal cricket culture again to make sure that he's not a crazy person again. But yeah, Shakib, not my favorite.
I think you would be a crazy person if you didn't use Sendwave to send money to Pakistan because Sendwave has competitive rates.
Yes.
You can get $10 towards your first transfer if you use the code SCOREPK. It's fast, it's secure, and I'll pass it on to you.
If you use our code SCOREPK, you get $10 off your first transfer. And what they've done is after our feedback to them, you can get the promo rates that you would have gotten when you sent over $100 throughout now. So if you send 1, 5, 10, 15, anything, 1 all the way to 1,000, whatever money you're sending, you're going to get the promo rates, which are going to be the more competitive rates. Use our code SCOREPK, send this money off, and let Sendwave know that we sent you. And as always, thank you, Sendwave, for sponsoring the PSL Daily episodes. We actually respect it. We haven't used a money transferring company before. We've had a few calls from some other companies, but after we moved our apparatus to Sendwave, we checked it out. We implore you guys to do it too.
Lahore go to chase 191, and Fakhar Zaman is in phenomenal form. I love to see a good Fakhar Zaman in the PSL. I think he has the most sixes in the PSL, one of the top run scorers. And when he gets going up top, he can easily set the tone for the entire chase. And that's exactly what he did in today's match.
Man, Fakhar, yeah, he knew exactly what he was going to do. And actually, for me, as someone who's the Fakhar Saim believer like you are as well, I love to see this. From a crunch player in a crunch situation, he came out, scored 47, put his team on the right track, and gave Abdullah Shafiq the platform to go out and let loose. Now, we'll talk about ABD here because I think this is a defining innings from Abdullah and his standpoint because he's been trying to prove himself in a crunch match situation. Now, we know he has the shots, we know he has the style, we know he has the caliber, but we didn't know if he had the innings like these to see himself and his team through the line. And I'm really glad that happened. But Fakhar Zaman, he was the one who capitalized the power play. He wanted to make sure that he gave Lahore the absolute chance to chase this. And if it wasn't for him in his early start and that little partnership he had with Abdullah Shafiq in the top, I don't think they would have made it through.
I like how Fakhar, he knows his limitations as a batsman. He's not the most technically correct batsman. So he uses unorthodoxy in his favor. Like he backs away, he hits a 4, he'll go down the track and mess up Mir Hamza's bowling length.
Yeah.
He'll scoop you over third man. So he'll utilize the field. And I just think at this point in his career, he's played enough cricket to know how to maximize the power play and hit the gaps, play attacking cricket. And again, I know I'm jumping the gun here, but I can't wait to see Fakhar and Saim open. It's going to be a dream come true for me.
The Mohammad Naeem experiment is still going. They have not moved that person from the number 2 spot. this entire PSL. Lahore have some sort of faith in him. I mean, they're making it abundantly clear why he's in this. He's been playing continuously, and now they're in the semifinals. And
He's also bowling now.
he's bowling now. He took a few wickets. Now, this is the first time he's bowled this entire PSL.
I believe so.
That's a wild take. You get this guy to bowl in a qualifier, takes a wicket, gives 15 and 3, and now his batting still not the best, but he showed some sort of remorse. That shot he had against Hassan Ali to 6 was an absolute blinder, middle of middle. I loved what I was seeing. I wanted to see him see this game through. But I'm not sad that it's Abdullah Shafiq that made the winning runs. Well, not the winning runs, but brought them close.
Naeem gives me tape ball slogger vibes. Like he is quite dominant with his bottom hand and he hits a lot of his shots towards the leg side. And he's got a really beautiful bat swing. So he's still young. He's playing in the emerging category. So probably give him some more time and we can see him score more runs.
Probably. I think the next game, we'll talk about the next game in detail here near the end, but his next game is going to be the most important game. I think even if they win the next game, that might be the more important game, even if they make it to the final, because he needs to stand up in qualifiers like these to prove himself. If he doesn't do it in the next game, then I don't think they make it to the finals. But we can talk about that later.
The platform was set by Fakhr and Naeem, and that was then taken forward by Abdullah Shafiq. Now, Abdullah Shafiq's batting position was tinkered with last year by Lahore. Abdullah Shafiq is either an opener or he is a one-down batter. But last year, he was playing at like number 4, number 5, and that's just too low for Abdullah for the kind of batsman that he is. In this season, he's been given the number 3 spot, and he's, I think, in the top 10 run scorers. Entire PSL strike rate is like over 140. So by no means is he an anchor. He plays proper cricketing shots. He is a kitabi player, like Babar Azam once said. And I think there's no better sight in Pakistan cricket when Abdullah Shafiq is hitting sixes, when he's playing at his best. And some of the shots he hit today, the sound off of his bat, the crack sound. I don't know what's in that MB bat.
Man, feed it to me, inject into my veins. That's the sort of timing and class that we expect from Abdullah Shafiq. Now, just because you mentioned his numbers this season, he's played 11 matches, 1 not out, 324 runs in this PSL. Average of 32.4, but this is the kicker. Strike rate of 153.5, 154 almost, 350s, and 1 duck. I mean, the man's on fire. 15 sixes in that 324 runs as well. I think his form is very important to the success of Lahore Qalandars because we talked about it many times before, and this is why everybody in the Pakistan team wants to play in the top 4. The top 4 are the ones who are making runs. That's as simple as that. If you want to win matches, your top 4 has to get going ASAP as possible, right? As Michael Scott would say. And Abdullah Shafiq showing up at a crunch position, scoring 65 and 185 strike rate. It just put the platform that Fakhr had set. He just carried that momentum forward in such a graceful manner and such a easy on the eyes manner and aesthetic manner that by the time he got out, they needed like 18 off 15 or something, and the game was set to be won from that point on.
He hit 5 sixes, 3 fours, and none of his shots ever looked like he was slogging.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it looked like his effortless batting. His boundaries were just proper cricketing shots in the gaps. His sixes were clean.
Which makes me believe that, as someone, because he modeled himself very closely to Babar Azam, Babar does not need a slog shot. We've been talking about he doesn't have a quote unquote release shot. And, when the going gets tough, he just gets in a hole, especially in T20s. Abdullah Shafiq batting today just showed us that you don't actually need to have like that dirty, disgusting heave over mid wicket. You can have a release shot that is still classy and in the style that you play, but you can make it a bit more aggressive. And I think it's a very good playbook for people who are quote unquote anchors in this format.
I would love to see some more challenging balls delivered to Abdullah Shafiq on the middle off stump, because I'm still not sure if he's cleared his issue where he had a gap between his bat and pad on deliveries that were just nipped back from the 4th stump or to the off stump.
I mean, Lahore's pitch is not going to do that anyway, so you can't expect that sort of delivery to work in a situation like this, because the bounce is so true that it's not going to tinker with his confidence at all, Abdullah Shafiq. So even if that delivery was to be bowled to him, he'd probably play it on the merit and score some runs off of it. It's only when the ball is moving and jagging and and ripping this there, and there, that he gets dumbfounded. And I don't think you're going to find that in the Pindi and Lahore pitches. So he's good for now. I mean, in a situation like this, he's not in the squad though.
He's not.
And if Lahore does find themselves in a winning position, some questions to be raised, maybe some callbacks, but
I doubt it.
But how many anchors are you going to have, right?
How many top order guys are you going to have? Because right now in the squad you have Fakhar Zaman, Saim Ayub, Mohammad Haris,
Sahib Zada Farhan,
Hassan Nawaz, Salman Agha. It's
Agha.
like 6 top order players.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's just like you said, a problem of too many. And Abdullah Shafiq, So Shakil, all these guys are probably going to be left on the curbside because of that, which is fine. I'm not against it.
You didn't mention Babar or Rizwan.
Moving on. Next question. No comments.
We had Kusal Pereira and Bhanuka Rajapaksa finish off the match for Lahore. Just 2 Sri Lankan guys going at it.
Vibing, bro.
Vibing.
Generally, Rajapaksa like came out 23 off 12, just finishing the innings off, making sure that they have a comfortable win. Not once did it get close there. In the end, when wickets were tumbling a little too quickly for my taste, I was a bit worried, but it was over by then, honestly. You're not going to defend 15 off 15 in Lahore. Sorry to say.
4 of Lahore's top 8 are lefties. I just noticed. Fakhar, Kusal Pereira, Rajapaksa, Shakib, Shaheen. Something going on there.
I mean, it's the left to right combination working really well for them. I don't know if this was the case since the beginning, but it's really worked. And they find themselves in a semi-final spot that they might actually win. I don't know. If we were to go into the standings, Bashar, this entire season, Islamabad versus Lahore hasn't really won a game against them.
I think because they haven't played in Lahore. Can you confirm that? Lahore hasn't.
Islamabad won the first game that they played against Lahore. I think that was in Pindi. And then they lost the second game that they played against Lahore. That was in Lahore.
Yeah, so Lahore is not a good omen for Islamabad United because they are yet to win a match in Lahore this entire PSL. And to face Lahore in Lahore is a different challenge, as we've heard from the United players and as the record shows this season. So I'm really not sure what to expect tomorrow. Lahore seems to be peaking at the right time. Islamabad are coming off of a loss, and they are going to be playing without Alex Hales, who I believe has left the PSL.
He just came for a couple games then?
Yes. And he won one of them, so.
Yeah, but it was sort of like a moot point game because they already made the...
But it helped them reach the top 2, right? Which gave them another opportunity to play the finals.
Yeah. Before we get into the discussion of what tomorrow's game is going to look like, I do want to announce that we are going to go live for the live stream. We are going to go live for the final. It's going to be a live stream on YouTube on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. or 10:45 a.m. EST. And we're going to be live for the entire final of the PSL. If you're in Pakistan tuning in, you can check us out there. If you're in North America, you can play with us. Have us play next to your Willow stream. And
so the idea is that you mute your match and you play backward point.
You can do both.
Sync it together. Because who wants to listen to Amr Sohail?
That's what I'm saying. The question is, do you want to listen to Amr Sohail or do you want to listen to Nazar Sayed?
Who wants to listen to Waqar Yunus and Wasim Akram talking about their golden days?
I mean, we'll do that. We'll do it. You and I can bring a cricket ball and talk about the golden days.
I would love to give you guys a tutorial on how to swing the ball, how to do the outswing, and then the away swinger. Eventually, it'll take some time for these muscles to develop, but eventually the pace will come in 6 months.
We'll get that done. But before we can do any of that, we have to talk about Canada's home of cricket.
Do you mean Yashi Sports?
I mean Yashi Sports, the one and only, the provider, the sponsor, the one where it started all.
Confirming that the 2 winners of the Yashi Sports English Willow Bat and the Yashi Sports Premium Gloves have received their items.
Do you have pictures of this?
I have pictures from the delivery.
Okay, we need pictures of them receiving it. I need proof of this so I can show it to all the other people. So we can, whenever we have a next giveaway, we can be like, hey, look, these guys got their stuff. You will
absolutely. Too. I would love to see them.
Hey, if you're listening to the podcast, just share your stuff. Tag us on Instagram. We'll reshare it on our stories.
Sounds good. And if you also want to purchase your items from Yashi Sports, you can go to yashisports.com and explore, browse through a wide variety of cricket equipment that Yashi Sports has. They're quite well known to be one of the best providers of equipment here in North America. They have free shipping on orders of $350 and up. And you can use the code BP10 for 10% off your next purchase.
100%. Thank you, Yashi Sports, for sponsoring this podcast, for sponsoring our cricketing needs, and for being honestly the pioneers in this GTA area for all cricketing nerds. Thank you for your services.
We'll be stepping into Yashi Sports very soon for a couple of really special videos we have planned.
I'm not ready for one of them, but we'll talk about that. I don't want to face 90 miles an hour. I'm scared of you at 65, bro. But okay. Anyway, so let's talk about tomorrow's game, which is very important if you're an Islamabad United fan, because I was like you, where if Karachi had won today and was playing Islamabad tomorrow, I would have been one of those people where any of those teams winning would give me happiness, because I was like you, turning over a new leaf with the Karachi fandom and the team and whatever David Warner has brought to this team, the swag, the attitude, the Australian mindset. I liked it, and I was ready to be on that fence. But because that wasn't the case, and Islamabad is playing Lahore tomorrow, and I'm not really much of a big fan of Lahore myself, I really want Islamabad to win. But how can that happen when Lahore is looking this good?
I also want Islamabad to win. I want them to make the finals back to back.
Yeah. I just want to be happy with the tweet that I tweeted, because one prediction has gone wrong, and I don't want the main prediction to go wrong, and because I feel like that would be a really big ego hurt for me.
Again, we need to start having signatures on our tweets, because people should know whether it's you or it's me.
You hardly tweet, so it's gonna be me most of the time, anyways.
I think people now know by the tone of the tweet if it's you or if it's me.
Yeah, you have the more Behram Ghazi, what's going on in the match vibe, and I have the more Saad Nasir like vibes. This is how I feel today. Vibes. So it's a little bit of a different hat that we wear when we're tweeting. What's gonna happen tomorrow? You're not talking about it.
Predictions? I want to say Lahore's gonna go through, just because they have the momentum.
Just because you want to see them lose.
They're playing at home. It's gonna be the home crowd advantage. Islamabad has not done well in Lahore this entire PSL. They've lost another key person in their team, which is Alex Hales. I will back Lahore to win.
What does the playing 11 for Islamabad look like tomorrow? Does Azam Khan come back?
Well, it depends who's on their bench. Because if Alex Hales is being benched, they need an opener to come in.
Yeah.
Unless they can get Azam Khan to open, which he has opened in this PSL. That could be part of, because Islamabad, you never know. They are hashtag Dimag se.
Is Monroe still in?
I don't remember. He's back or not.
I don't know either. It doesn't say withdrawn anywhere on the Cricket Info site, but I don't know, man.
I didn't see him in any of the dugout clips or videos.
Kyle is not back either.
Doubt it.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think the batting is where I feel like they're lacking, and that's where they need to.
If they want to go out of the box, they can get Heather ready to open.
He hasn't opened ever, man. Like it's been years since he's opened. He's been so tuned into being a lower middle order player that I think that'll be like a disastrous.
I think Mohammad Shahzad can also open.
No, that'd be a bold call. Him or Azam Khan.
Because here's what they can do. Mohammad Shahzad to open. He's the emerging player. Ghazi Ghori
out and Azam in.
That could be one way. But I really wanted to get Heather early back in somehow.
He's a man of crisis. Heather early.
Yeah. Because Imad Wasim isn't really scoring runs, so I don't trust him to bat at number 7, right?
Yeah, but he has those 4 overs that are important.
His batting is good, but again, like to have batting depth, you need to have guys who can come in late in the order and actually score runs. And Imad just looks off color with the bat this entire PSL.
You know who I wouldn't want to be? Rehan. Rehan Luck.
Why not?
This is a tough decision to make. This playing 11 is going to make or break this game tomorrow. And I mean, they have this policy of like rotating and everybody's a floater and nobody actually plays on their spot properly for more than like 2 games straight. There are positives to that, but then there are cons like this where you're like kind of subjugated to like, well, who opens now? Because we have had like 4 different openers this entire season, and who plays in the middle order. And
they also have this guy named Fike. He's a lefty batter, quite promising. Yeah. So I'm not sure if they will just expose him in such a crucial match.
He's a young player, man. He only has like 3 first-class games, 7 T20s, 7 list day games. So
yeah, very young, very raw.
I don't know if you would throw him into like a
But that
qualifier
also
like that.
means that teams haven't really seen a lot of him, and they might not even have like match footage or stats against him.
Again, I repeat, I would not want to be down on luck tomorrow, trying to get this team made. But it's going to be a fun game. I can't believe there's like 2 PSL dailies left. Actually, technically 1, because we're going to be live streaming the final. So tomorrow's the PSL daily might be the last one.
Wow.
How many have we done? 30?
24.
24?
End of an era.
That's crazy.
This is probably one of the most challenging things we've done.
Yeah.
To do an episode every single day.
I don't have a personal life anymore. I have not seen the sky.
This is my personal life.
I have not seen the sky in 24 days.
Backward Point is my family. Discord fam, what's up?
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be tuning in after tomorrow's game and watching it very closely. I really want Islamabad to win, but there are stakes on the final, for us at least, because then it'll just be like us cheering for Islamabad and shitting on Quetta. But Quetta is also like a major Karachi team, so we'll be conflicted. It'll be a fun way. But if Lahore goes through to the final, then it's just going to be Quetta all the way for me. I'm like, screw this Lahore team.
I just hope Islamabad goes out playing the way Islamabad does.
Yeah, me too.
Fearless, aggressive, attacking cricket.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a fun game. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you to Sendwave, Yashi, Patreon fam,
Blue Jays.
Blue Jays. Thank you to the Blue Jays. Obviously, see you guys on 31st May. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow after tomorrow's game, hopefully with some good news as an Islamabad United fan. Yeah.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers, guys.